and gentlemen, everything is changing for Tesla stock. For the better, that is. The amount of hedge funds that are holding equity positions in Tesla has went up dramatically in just really a couple of months. Okay, Tesla was not even top 20 before. Okay, this was back on June 2nd, 2024. Now, Tesla is the 11th most held stock from hedge funds and institutions. Number 1 is Microsoft. Number 2 is Amazon. Number 3 is Meta. Number 4 is Nvidia. Number 5 is Alphabet. Number 6 is Taiwan Semiconductor. And number 7 is Apple. I think Tesla is about to move up this chart a lot in 2025. And I think people are about to get a whole lot more bullish on Tesla stock. There's talk about valuations being stretched. Okay, they're not. Yes, if you use a typical sense of valuing a stock, they are. Okay, if you use PE ratios or PEG ratios, perhaps. Sure. But Tesla will surprise to the upside with growth next year, and especially in 2026. The more surprises we get, the higher Tesla stock will go. I think the first surprise that we are going to get is actually coming on Thursday. I think that is going to be a much better than expected delivery number. We are expecting 506,000 deliveries. We could come in around 535,000 deliveries. As per my calculations, on the high side, we could come in at 575,000 deliveries. That's the first big surprise. Now, deliveries, they're not going to matter as much as people think for next year in Tesla, in my opinion. I think it's much, for the most part, at least, going to change to AI-related endeavors that move Tesla stock. That could be Optimus, that could be full self-driving, that could be licensing of full self-driving, robotaxis in the US, and FSD is still expected to enter Europe and China in Q1 2025. These are going to be the bigger drivers of Tesla stock. Now, this is a great post, I think, from Randy Kirk on X that says Tesla to $1,000 in 2025. And I feel like it's a pretty balanced post, so that's why I want to share it with you. He says, in this post, I do my best to put all optimism on hold and be as realistic as I know I can be. And while my analysis could be dead wrong, I think the stock is stuck. Tesla will need major catalysts to move above $500. Your comments desired. Okay, I think a big catalyst to getting above $500 could be a really good delivery number. Although I think in 2025, the higher Tesla gets, the less it will be about deliveries. But right now, I think a really good delivery number on Thursday could be the catalyst that pushes us above $500. Now, he says projected $5 earnings for 2024 per AJ. Mine is lower, around $4.35. 100X is only $500. This is why I think we are stuck in this range for a while. Since Tesla is so volatile, the 410 to 480 may not be enough. Over 500,000 cars will be okay on January 2nd. Around 9 gigawatt hours of energy will be fine. Assuming Juniper looks good and as expected, the market won't move. If earnings and margins are in line and Elon is in a good mood on January 22nd, the stock's still stuck under $500. Any of those miss, and we might be back to 380 even. And if you're truly bullish on Tesla, if you're truly bullish on AI and full self-driving and robotaxi long-term, you want to see the stock fall. So you should be hoping that I am dead wrong. Because every week, every paycheck, every 2 weeks, every month, however often you deploy money into markets, the longer Tesla is at lower prices, the more profit that you will make down the line. And that's what it's all about. I know we've had a while to buy Tesla stock. We all have big positions in Tesla, but getting a chance to make that position even bigger, I think, is a positive thing. So, I hope I'm wrong to a certain extent. Meanwhile, better and better FSD is coming out, still 480, maybe 500. Unsupervised might get us to 550, maybe 600. Now you are looking beyond 2025 to 2026 with earnings around $8. So 100x is now $800. And we could get there, but we need solid news on Optimus, use cases, voice, etc. Robotaxi rolls out. Will not help the stock. Already baked in with unsupervised. Also, it is rolled out slowly. I think Robotaxi rolling out will most certainly positively affect the stock because I think it's going to roll out faster than people think. Now, yes, Tesla's Robotaxi is still going to have people monitoring the drives behind computer screens, all right? Behind monitors, okay? It's not going to matter. But that is going to allow Tesla to roll out this technology faster and faster. I think we're so used to a slow Robotaxi rollout because of Waymo. But Waymo has to actually go out and map the roads. They have to map their software. Tesla does not need to do that. So it's more like, let's get regulatory approval, and then boom. I mean, it shouldn't be as difficult as people think in 2025, especially as hopefully some of the regulations get rolled back a bit, to deploy Robotaxi. And when Tesla deploys Robotaxi, yes, there will be people monitoring these drives behind screens, right? But Tesla doesn't need to map the area first. So you could see a launch much faster than other areas. Instead of what Elon Musk guided for on the last earnings for 2 states, Texas and California, to deploy Robotaxi next year. On January 22nd, Elon Musk is probably going to say more like 4 or 5 states could actually deploy Robotaxi technology next year. That is a big upside catalyst in January, right? Long before it ever even launches, the stock will take notice. So, even Tesla earnings, that is probably the biggest catalyst that we will get. Does Elon's commentary change? Instead of 2 states, is it 4 or 5 states? That is what is going to move the stock the most in January, in my personal opinion. So I disagree with this to the utmost extent. I don't think it's already baked in. I don't think the rollout will be as slow as we are used to. Now, is it going to be overnight in many different states? No. Is it going to be, years to get into different states? I don't think so either. That's like Waymo's approach. Okay. The Model Q, if it is perceived to be at least a triple, could move the stock $40. But the key will be the advanced orders. If the order book fills up, then $40 or more is in the bank. Expected announcements, semi and beginning of ramp, moving to 10 a week, etc. Megapacks are ramping up. 4680, first 4 lines fully ramped, next 4 lines beginning production. Cattle battery lines in Reno are producing good product with fully ramped estimates. Making refined lithium in Corpus Christi. US and Berlin start making Juniper. US and Berlin start making Q. Sales look like 20 to 30% increase. Cybertruck prices go lower. Production increases apace. New Megapack factory location announced or groundbreaking. New Gigafactory announced or groundbreaking, maybe Mexico. None of this will matter. Up $10 on the news in some cases. Mostly nothing. All eyes on Robotaxi. Voice for Robotaxi and Optimus will be a big deal. That could move the stock. Clarity on compute impacting FSD for cars and bots might move the stock. Purchase of 10% of XAI will move the stock. If all goes well and Optimus is revealed with prices, specs, ship dates, estimated ramp, $1,000 or more per share by year end. That's another big catalyst. Beyond just Robotaxi, Optimus. Elon Musk has said that by the end of 2025, Tesla expects that they could have hundreds or thousands of Optimus bots that start to be shipped out, number one, and working in Tesla factories. That would be a big deal if Wall Street can start to actually, prepare for Optimus, can start to kind of model for what Optimus could be. That would be a big deal. Also, Tesla purchasing 10% of XAI would move the stock a lot. And I think Elon wants to do that for Tesla investors, right? I think he wants to give Tesla investors the opportunity to own some XAI. And I think Elon is already working on trying to make that happen with some of the funding rounds that they are already putting forth, because eventually XAI will go public, and that will be a huge value driver potentially to Tesla stock. Imagine if XAI hits a $500 billion market cap down the line. If Tesla owns 10%, that's a $50 billion increase. That would move Tesla stock at least somewhat. So obviously this Thursday, you have your big catalyst with delivery numbers. Beyond that, on January 22nd, when Tesla reports earnings, really the guidance around Robotaxi and how many states it will be deployed into in 2025 will be the next big catalyst. Tesla potentially buying 10, 15%, something like that, of XAI will be another massive catalyst. Tesla's Model Q is going to be another big catalyst. And then Optimus is going to be an even bigger catalyst if that does develop and deploy as we expect into the end of 2025. And we actually see some robots start to be deployed to maybe warehouses or some kind of jobs like that. All of these things are really going to help propel Tesla stock to extremely high levels in 2025. And $1,000, as I said previously, is not off the table. My actual price target for next year was $900. As high as $945. 900 sounds like a better round number at this point. And that would be about a double from here. And I don't think that is too unrealistic. Now, it starts this week with Tesla's deliveries. Those need to come in good. If they do not come in good, then we're going to have a problem. And as I explained in the last video, you really want to be watching that 415 level. And then ultimately that 20-day moving average at 413. If you do not hold support there, you would be hitting a new lower low. We have not hit a lower low for Tesla stock since the stock hit $138 per share in April of 2024, right? So we have not hit a lower low. Look at this chart. It's been higher highs ever since. And that would be a problem, at least short term, if we break below 415. Now, other reasons why I am bullish for next year is the insanely high short positioning that short sellers have in Tesla stock, considering the stock has done so well, heading into a delivery number this Thursday. It just doesn't seem like the best risk reward to be short in Tesla. You have 2.89% short interest or free float, $36.6 billion sold short in Tesla currently, totaling 80.59 million shares that are sold short. Even on Friday, you had almost 2 million shares that were sold short. That just doesn't sound like the wise choice to me, okay? Now, option activity, even though Tesla was down 5% on Friday, was very positive, 67% positive to be exact. You had 233 different trades, totaling $193 million. Over the past week, you had $3.06 billion worth of options orders with a positive order value of 87%. Now, also, as I explained a little bit in the last video, and part of the reason why I'm forced to be bullish right now, even if I was bearish on markets, which obviously everyone knows kind of the bearish side of markets right now. Trump's going to be inaugurated on January 20th. There's tariff concerns. 10-year treasury yields are rising. People are concerned about inflation, all that, blah, blah, blah. But we are still in a bull market. And the CNN Fear and Greed Index is at 34, which is in the bottom quartile of fear. You have 35% of stocks trading above their 50-day moving average. So 65% of stocks are currently in an active downtrend. Anytime you've been at these levels, the S&P has been in a correction kind of level. So what I think this is really highlighting is the aggressive amount of tax loss harvesting that you have seen this year. And I think that means we could see a lot of those stocks being bought back. We could see a broader market rally start in January. Now, Monday and Tuesday are a bit of a toss-up because it's the last days that you can tax loss harvest for 2024. So do we see some buying back of those tax loss harvest, transactions tomorrow and Tuesday? Or do we see more of that last minute tax loss harvesting? I do not know exactly, but it will be volatile or interesting, to say the least, coming over the next 2 days. Now, again, markets had a really rough day on Friday. Russell 2000 down 1.5%, Nasdaq down 1.5%, S&P down 1.1%. The Dow was down 0.75%. On very little news, there really wasn't much going on. So usually when those kind of sell-offs happen, you do see sharp recoveries in the following days. So that is definitely a possibility to start off the week. And honestly, from my perspective, Tesla could be a $380 stock if things go poorly in January, or Tesla could be over $500 per share if things go well in January. I think, we should be expecting good things to come. I don't think at this point there's enough reason to be bearish. Obviously, 10-year treasury, blah, 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 blah. There's reasons to be bearish on broader markets. But Tesla, even though we've seen a sell-off in markets, has held up exceptionally well. Again, kind of in the bigger picture here, Tesla is up a lot since the election. Like, Tesla is still up following the sell-off, following the sell-off, 76% since the election. You would expect Tesla would be dumping as the markets have dumped, as the equal weight has dumped, as the S&P has started to sell off here. It hasn't looked nearly as bad for Tesla as you would expect, and I think there's a reason for that. And I think people are going to continue to get more and more bullish on Tesla into 2025. So my level of, being concerned is low. If deliveries miss, that's an issue, right? If, tariff threats come out, that's an issue, but I'm just not concerned about that right now. Oh, I should also point out that tomorrow morning we have Chicago PMIs, pending home sales, and Dallas Fed manufacturing index. We do have manufacturing PMIs out of China as well, but really that's not big data. You have the S&P Case-Shiller home price month over month and year over year, and on Tuesday. On Wednesday, markets are closed. New Year's, of course. Thursday, you have initial jobless claims, and that's pretty much it. And on Friday, you have the ISM manufacturing PMI. So we really don't have much for data this week. And usually when you have a slow data week and markets are this negative, usually you see a reversal to the upside that ensues from that. Hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that does not happen. Again, let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comment section. Ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.